Trump's Tuesday night address to a joint session of Congress highlighted several of the initiatives he started in his first 6 weeks in office, but many of his comments included false and misleading information. Here's a look at the facts, according to the Associated Press. On tariffs, the president says they will, quote, make America rich again. But most economists say Trump's tariffs would hurt the country as they're tax increases that will raise the cost of goods that will harm economic growth, with many citing inflation would increase a full percentage point and the average household would lose about $1,600 in disposable income. The president also incorrectly stated he inherited a, quote, economic catastrophe from his predecessor, Joe Biden. But according to the Department of Labor, the unemployment rate was at a very low 4% in January when Trump took office, while the economy expanded a healthy 2.8% in Biden's final full year in office, and inflation-adjusted incomes have grown steadily for nearly 2 years, while inflation was hovering at a low 3% on Inauguration Day, barely above the 2% benchmark the Fed would like it at. President Trump also grossly overstated what the U.S. has spent on the war in Ukraine, routinely citing a figure of $350 billion, when the actual number is less than half of that, according to the Kiel Institute for the World Economy that tracks wartime aid to Ukraine. And with respect to the southern border, he inflated the number of people who entered the U.S. illegally under the President Biden's administration, stating over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the U.S., stating many of them were murderers, human traffickers, and gang members. However, U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported more than 10 million arrests for illegal crossings during that time period. But that's arrests, not people. Many people crossed more than once until they succeeded. So the actual number of people is lower than the number of arrests, which is much less than half of the number the president routinely quotes. There's also no evidence from other countries that they're sending their criminals or people with mental illness across the border.